Hi everyone, my name is Bonderup Dohn and I'm a member of the steering committee of the biannual Network Learning Conference, which is to take place the next time at Mid-Sweden University in 2022. I'm here to tell you about our exciting ideas for what the longer prospect of the hanfod.nl event taking place next week could be. I'm really pleased that Mike and Felicity have started the hanfod.nl breaking network learning and phenomenology together, and actually their plans are much more ambitious than just one event. Their plans is for this to start an ongoing discussion and also for a longer term collection of papers to be written. So the first event, as you know, is going to be hanfod.nl next week on June 10 and 11, where Kathy Adams will do a workshop on observing and writing phenomenologically. And actually, the idea is for our hope is that this will spark interest in developing papers over a series of steps into what, towards the end, will hopefully become a book or a special issue on phenomenology and network learning. And hopefully, of course, that book will not be the end. That will be the beginning of a new discussion. But before we get to the book, there are a series of steps. The idea is for the kickoff, for the hanfod.nl to work as a kickoff event, and that the next landing step will be the Network Learning Conference at Mid-Sweden University on the 16th to 18th of May 2022. And from there, papers can be developed into chapters that will then hopefully become this book towards the end. And actually, those were sort of the three major steps, but we do have plans of many steps between the steps. So the overall timeline is actually more in line with this, where you see the timeline. We've got the hanfod.nl on June 10-11, where we have a workshop on doing and writing phenomenology, hosted and led by Kathy Adams. Then there's a network learning conference in 2022. We plan for to invite you to write abstracts for ideas or abstracts for papers for the conference, with a session of discussion, the abstracts already on September 3rd this year, 2021, because submission for Network Learning Conference 2022 is on October 8th, 2021. So the idea is for us all to send in abstracts by September 2, so that we can have a collaborative group discussion on September 3 of abstracts and give feedback on ideas, so that authors can submit in by October 8th to the Network Learning Conference. And depending on how many are interested in this and how well the paper ideas fit together, we might host a symposium at the Network Learning Conference, or we might all simply write individual papers, short or long papers, as the format at the Network Learning Conference website will tell you more about. And as I'm part of the steering committee, I will ensure that if we go with the individual short and long papers, we will all be put in the same session so that we can still exchange ideas, even if we do not have it as a symposium. So this Network Learning Conference overall step is the abstract submission by September 3, then submission of a paper by October 8. Then we get peer reviews in December, revise and make a final version by January 2022, assuming, of course, hoping, of course, that we get our papers accepted. And then the conference is at Mid-Sweden University on May 16 to 18, 2022. And after the conference, Felicity and Mike and I, and Kathy hopefully also, will develop a book proposal, a special issue, where authors of papers on phenomenology and network learning can develop papers into into chapters, and we'll have a further review round, and we'll have revisions and publications hopefully in 2023. And then, of course, the book is disseminated and people read it and discussions go on. And phenomenology is here to stay in network learning. Important to note is that all these steps are up to you, whether you want to participate in them or not. So it is perfectly possible to be part of the workshop on June 10, 11 and not do anything further, apart from maybe write on your own, but not do any of the further steps. It's also perfectly possible not to be part of the workshop, but do write something for the Network Learning Conference. You don't have to send us an abstract. You can just submit directly if you want to. And it's also possible to be part of the book proposal, even if you haven't participated in the Network Learning Conference. So these are steps we're suggesting in terms of helping to get feedback along the way on your ideas. But if you'd rather simply go directly for the book proposal for a chapter in the book or in the special issue, that's perfectly fine as well. So I'm looking forward to next week seeing you there, hopefully, or seeing you at the Network Learning Conference, or having your chapter suggestions by the time of the book proposal, and maybe all of that. Thank you.